Welcome back, everyone. We have such a special half hour planned for you. Obviously, we have this legend standing next to me. Mark Johnson joining us this morning for this special half hour. Thank you, Mark, for coming in. Oh, I just love you so much.
So awesome.
It is awesome. And he's like, would I know my way back to the station? He found us. He found us this morning. We're going to take a look back at some of the fun, and we're going to celebrate what's happening today as well. Mark is going to be at the Grove this afternoon with me and Morgan and our whole team, really celebrating Alive After 5 in downtown Boise. We cannot wait, Mark.
This is going to be great, Maggie.
It is.
I can't wait. And we want all of you and your family and your friends to join us for this celebration of 70 years today.
Yes, it's the birthday.
July 12th.
That's right. It's today, so you have to join us at the Grove. That starts at 5 o'clock today. That's going to be Alive After 5, so it starts at 5:01. Maybe, I'm not sure, because it has to be after 5.
Right, it's Alive After 5. Then at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Don't miss the KTVB 70th anniversary special featuring a look back at our history, a peek at what happens behind the scenes. You don't want to miss that. 70 years ago, 1953. KIDO TV first went on the air.
Yes.
And now, 70 years later, here we are. On the same kind of day, Jim is in the Weather Center. I was thinking about this on the way in. This was the day, the same kind of day that 70 years ago today, Jim, we went on the air, and people around the station, the engineering department, had to go all over the city of Boise and buy up every single box fan they could find, because there was no AC to keep the machinery running.
That's true. No AC 70 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness we have it today, because we have triple digits coming our way this weekend. But Jim, let's start with today for our big celebration. How's the weather going to be at the Grove this afternoon at around 5?
I'm having a deja vu moment right now.
I know, isn't this fun?
Except I don't remember I don't remember seeing that face on the morning show.
Oh, he's done it.
Oh, I've done it.
He's done it during one of my many maternity leaves. He's come in.
Honestly, welcome, Mark. It's great to have you here. And outside, it is going to be a beautiful day shaping up, but a typically hot July day, and the sun is getting brighter as it approaches the horizon this morning. 63 in Boise right now, 67 in Ontario, but everybody else is in the mid to upper 50s, from Caldwell to Mountain Home and over to Twin Falls. And Stanley, 34 degrees, kind of crisp and cool up in the Stanley Basin. Light winds pretty much, and clear skies across the entire area for now. Maybe a few clouds this afternoon in some of the mountain areas farther to the north, maybe even an isolated thunder shower, but otherwise dry and hot and 96 degrees for KTVB's anniversary today.
Ooh, it's going to be hot, but bring water, bring sunscreen. You're going to have a great time down there on the Grove with all of us starting at 5. Well, you've likely seen all the commercials running here on Channel 7, and of course all the stories. We have been blowing this up. 70th anniversary. We're celebrating it today, 70 years.
For a good reason. You heard me say earlier, we signed on as KIDO 70 years ago today, but you might be a little confused as to why that happened, and it was not KTVB. Let's explain.
It all starts in 1928 at a radio station at Boise High School. Turns out they built up a pretty big operation called KFAU. So big, it became too expensive to operate. So the school district put it up for sale and put an ad in the paper. An ad Mr. Curtis Phillips and his wife Georgia happened to notice when they were visiting her parents in Parma. Curtis, who already co-owned a radio station in Eugene, put in the winning bid and became the owner of KFAU that same year. The couple moved to Boise to run the station and went on air November 5, 1928 under the call letters KIDO AM. Over the years, they built up the station, gaining more and more power to broadcast farther and farther away. But in 1944, Curtis died of a heart attack, leaving Georgia as a widow with 2 young girls. She continued to run the station as a single mom until 1946. That's when she married R. Mowbray Davidson, a Boise businessman, and she officially became Georgia Davidson. In 1952, the FCC lifted its pause on new television stations, and Georgia filed for Idaho's very first TV station permit. A year later, on July 12, 1953, KIDO TV went on the air for the very first time. The studio was located on Crestline Drive, just above the Boise Hills Village. Even the father of television, Philo Farnsworth himself, was in attendance for the sign-on. Legend goes, it was so hot that day, someone from the station went around to every store in Boise to buy every fan they could find to keep the machines cool. Those days, some commercials were advertised live in the studio. The studio even had a garage door for car dealerships to showcase their newest rides.
Fortunately, no bomb was found. Bowling, basketball, or ice skating, yes, you have a choice when you go Phillips 66.
By 1955, KIDO-TV had 7 on-air personalities and a number of original shows. In 1959, Georgia decided to sell the radio side of the business and change the television's call letters to KTVB. That same year, Bob Kruger was hired as the station's first general manager and vice president, and Sal Selesky, the station's first news director.
The real credit for the success of Channel 7, I believe, was Sal and Bob, because they laid the foundation. The rest of us just stood on their shoulders.
In 1971, KTVB opened its current building on Fairview Avenue, on what used to be the old Western Idaho Fairgrounds. 9 years later, in 1980, Georgia Davidson decided to sell KTVB to her friend Dorothy Bullitt, the owner of King Broadcasting in Seattle. Georgia would stay on, but with Bob Kruger running the station. In 1986, KTFT in Twin Falls begins operations under the KTVB News Group brand, expanding the station's reach from eastern Oregon almost to eastern Idaho. That coverage would explode again in 1996 with the launch of KTVB.com, now one of the most visited news websites in the entire state of Idaho. Georgia died a year later in 1997 at the age of 89, but her legacy lives on here at KTVB.
You just can't run from the Channel 7 legacy, and nor do you want to, because this is such a special place.
I'm so proud of this station, and I'm still proud of the station. I think it's still the gold standard.
I love this place, and the community loves this place. And you know, we always used to say a reputation is hard to build and it's easy to lose. And that weight is upon every generation that comes through the halls of this television station.
And we take that so seriously here at Channel 7. We just want to continue to be that legacy station, the legacy that Mark has created, Dee, Carolyn, Larry.
I didn't create this.
Well,
I didn't create the legacy, and really none of us did. The legacy was created by Georgia Davidson.
Well, that's very true. We talked about her earlier this hour. If it wasn't for her, we would not be here today. So we want to keep the 70th fun here on Wake Up Idaho. That's why we have this guy here. And let's take a look back at some of Mark Johnson's pictures throughout his time here at Channel 7. He can talk about each one. I'm sure he has a memory from all of these marks. So this is one of my favorite ones, the photo shoot of you and Tom Scott and the basketball.
Well, that's one of the great things about KTVB is Bob Kruger recognized we needed to do live sports.
Yes.
And so he said, we're going to do Boise State basketball and football and U of I football. And so we did. And so we did this promo shoot downtown.
And had so much fun together.
Yeah, we still do.
Yes, you do. And let's take a look at our 1990s KTVB newsroom crew. MJ, there you are. You look the same.
Oh,
you haven't aged a day.
Look at Rick Lance right there.
I know, next to you.
Screen, A.K. Lionheart. There's Carolyn and Dee over on the right.
Yes.
Oh, that had to have been 1984 or 5.
Oh, it was in the 80s. Okay, yeah. That's good to know. And then let's take a look at our next picture. Mark's going to talk us through these. I'm so glad we have him here, because when it's just Justin and I, we don't have the personal stories that he has to go along with him. Here you are with Rick, and actually some of our viewers mistook that for Justin.
Rick.
Yeah.
They mistook Rick for Justin.
Yes, they did. That's Don Johnson and Rick. You look like a Hollywood star.
That's also 1984,
yes.
85.
Oh my
Rick
gosh.
and I came to the station at about the same time. I think he was just ahead of me in 1983, and then I came in 1982.
And he's still here.
And he's still here.
He's still doing weather each and every day. All right, let's take a look at our next shot of Mark's career back. Oh, I love this one. It looks like you're starring in Yellowstone.
Yeah, this is just before I became the father of the Dutton family. Yes.
I was going to say, looks like you're running for governor.
I don't know what that has to do with a TV, sports, or news anchor, but there's a guy on a fence.
Hey, it's a great picture. If you ever decide to run for office, that's the one to use. All right, and let's keep looking at Mark's career here at Channel 7. I think this was when you were hitting the big time in Green Bay.
I was in Milwaukee at the time
Milwaukee.
that this was taken, and Bob Holland was there. You could see Larry Manili was the sports guy.
Yes. I see Laurel Porter and Dee and Carolyn. They were the three ladies here bringing you the news each and every day. They started this morning show so many years ago.
Rod Grammer was the news director, came over from the Statesman. It was a great team. I was gone for almost 10 years.
And then he came back because he loves it here so much, and we're so glad you did. We're so glad you did.
I am just like many of you who left and said, what the heck are we doing?
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Let's go back to Idaho. So he did. Okay. And then we have more shots to share. Oh, this is a great one. Ed Vining. That brings back memories as well.
Our good friend Ed Vining, who did sports here at KTVB for well over 10 years.
Yes.
And Tom Scott. And Ed, Tom, and I were the first ones to ever do Sunday Sports Extra.
Yes, which still happens today.
It is the longest running 30-minute sports broadcast in the state.
How fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you've lived such an incredible career here and done so many amazing things. We could do a 5-hour special on you. But sadly, all great things had to come to an end because Mark left us. I still can't believe it. He had to retire and have his own life after decades of delivering you all the news. And, you know, a well-deserved retirement would not be complete without a chance to celebrate with the people you care about. This is a look at Mark's last newscast. Let's take a listen.
It is now 10:34 on Thursday.
We were standing right here when all that confetti and champagne was popping here in the studio to celebrate Mark's last newscast. What was that night like for you?
It was just incredible. I had I had my daughters here.
Yes.
3 of the 4 daughters that I have were here. Lindsay was watching from Seattle. My wife, Chrissy, my dear love of my life, my soulmate was here. And I did mean it when I said, you know, it was time to start spending time with that wonderful lady that has put up with this guy for 40 years in this business.
Oh, wow.
And you know the hours are crazy.
They are.
And you never know from one day to the next what your hours are going to be.
It's true.
And I always had a suitcase packed by the bed because you never knew when you were going to have to go out on that story. And so now we're just enjoying retirement together with our family. And someday, you guys that are still working will find out retirement does not suck.
No. I mean, I see your pictures of you golfing every day and enjoying yourself.
Not every
day.
day.
It looks pretty good, but
every once in a while I do a little.
I got a
work
long
around the
way to
house.
go since I've got a 4-year-old. Okay, so we do want to show one more really special moment that all of us at Channel 7 got to see, and that was Mark's retirement party. It was over at the Grove, and we had the best time. This is his cake, and which is just incredible. Look at that cake. And we kept that here at the office for months, by the way. We couldn't let go. And Mark also had a send-off song, and that was one of my favorite parts. Let's take a look.
No.
All behind. I'm in a retirement state of mind. I just want to thank you all for treating me so kind.
What
Sorry.
a great, oh,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
That
you
was
had
amazing.
to wake up to that at 6:40
Oh my gosh.
on a Wednesday morning.
You know what? The
You're
viewers
like-
didn't get to see that. That was his special send-off song with just friends and family, although I think there was hundreds of people there, so you got a lot of friends and a lot of family. But we had a great time celebrating Mark, and of course, he's a huge part of our history here at Channel 7. And that's what we're talking about today, our 70th birthday, our 70th anniversary. It's just too cool. Don't forget the party tonight at the Grove. So, Mark, tell us what's going to happen there.
I'm not going to be singing.
Are you sure?
I'm not gonna
I
be
don't know if
singing.
I don't trust this
There
guy.
are professionals that are paid to sing and play, and
You never know with you, though.
this guy isn't one of them.
Yeah.
I might bring my harmonica.
I
back.
think you should. I think you should. So that's today at 5 at the Grove. You are all invited. Come join us. Come down and party with us tonight, starting at 5 at Alive After 5. All
It's going
right.
to be a celebration.
It is. It's going to be fun.